JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Hi guys. Before we go into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. Jamaica's most wanted gun seized in St. Catherine North Police Division. The St. Catherine North Police Division is attributing its success in the current reduction in murders and shootings in the division to making inroads in the seizure of guns and ammunition. Speaking at a stakeholders forum in association with the Spanish-owned business community, Deputy Superintendent Balvi Thomas said 3 fewer murders were recorded since the start of the year when compared to 26 during the same period last year. He said 10 people were killed in Spanish Town, 5 were killed in Linstead, 3 individuals lost their life in Bogwalk, and another 3 in Guysdale. At the same time, 13 illegal guns, including a rifle, have been taken off the streets, but DSP Thomas said 5 of the division's most wanted criminals remain on the run.
When you look at Riversdale, Sligo Vale, Yuaton, Guysdale, Brownshall, Glengoff, Above Rocks, no murders, no shooting, no robberies since the start of the year. What else we can ask for? What else we can ask for? Can we sleep with our doors open in these doors committee, Mr. Chair? And our number one man is Peter Davis, Devilman. He operates in the Penhill District, Riversdale, West Prospect, Bagwalk, St. Catherine. This man, Glendon Amos, Mr. Thompson, as you said, he is very lucky. Mr. Bull, and we are telling him, turn in yourself. He's giving us some problem in the Linstead area. He operates in the Commodore area, but we will catch him. Dean Norman, he's from Berwick District, Riversdale. We also want him. All of them are for murders. And Gregory Ferguson, OC Ruff, he's also wanted for murder. And Junior Brown for murder from Springvale, Bagwalk. A member of the Klansman gang that is no longer with us. Look at this. He was charged under the anti-gang legislation. He was in conflict with the gang. He was a Klansman, operator out attack banks. And he went to Central Village to genocide gang. When he got bail again, he reported in Portland. And we realized that he was the one using this weapon. So you see the pattern. But I don't know if you remember that incident in the gorge. Still come over here and shoot people. Go back at town, go shoot people. And Portland, when I report, apparently making them here and shoot people. So having seen this, we decide that we have to do something. You call this one system gun. So what we did, rigorous road policing.
In the meantime, DSP Thomas said the multiple biometric identification system linked to illegal guns that were seized in the division to multiple murders across several parishes over the last 3 years. Jamaica's most wanted gun was one of them. One of the guns was recovered after a man was killed by police last September during an alleged shootout in the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine. Holness condemns killing of 16-year-old Westmoreland student. Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday condemned the brutal killing of Carson Barrett, a 16-year-old student of Grangill High in Westmoreland, whose life was snuffed out in what cops say was a gang-related incident. Barrett was shot and killed on Thursday while walking home from school with a female schoolmate who was also injured in the incident. Her injuries are not considered life-threatening, police said. Holness, in a release from his office, pledged that criminals who target children will be caught and will receive no mercy. This incident and violence in all its forms must be condemned by all Jamaicans. Our children must be free to attend school and live in an environment that promotes peace and safety to help them fulfill their dreams and aspirations. Persons who prey upon our children can expect no mercy. Law enforcement agencies will catch up with them and bring them to justice. Criminals will not win in our society, the Prime Minister said. He went on to assure the public that the government is securing the legal framework to deal with gangs and it is providing the resources to law enforcement that will be needed to capture gang members. We are seeing where gangs are grooming our youngsters at an early age. The government is taking decisive steps to ensure we bolster the laws and equip the police to go after gangsters. The full weight of law enforcement and the security and legal apparatus will be brought to bear on the heartless thugs who carried out this attack. These thugs should receive no sympathies from decent, law-abiding citizens, he added. Holness went on to reassure the community and education sector not to cower in fear in face of the heinous act, adding that the government will continue to act in their best interest to create a safe environment for learning. We urge Jamaicans not to cower in fear. Your government is resolute in addressing violence. I want to reassure everyone, teachers, students, parents, and the communities that the state will not bow to criminality and lawlessness. We'll put measures in place to address this and other incidents. The criminals will not win, Holness declared. I urge all persons with information to tell what they know, give information to law enforcement to apprehend the perpetrators, and put them through our criminal justice system, he continued. Pedal cyclist dies from injuries sustained in St. Ann crash. A 63-year-old labourer of Turner District, Brownstown, St. Ann, died from injuries he sustained in a motor vehicle accident on the Orange Hill Main Road in the parish on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as Barley Morrison. Reports from the Brownstown police are that about 10 p.m., Morrison was riding his pedal cycle along the main road when a pink Zamaco motorcycle traveling in the opposite direction collided with him. He sustained multiple injuries and was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the Road Safety Unit, RSU, 137 people have been killed in 118 fatal crashes as of Thursday, April 25. The RSU said this represents a 1% reduction in road fatalities, while fatal crashes have decreased by 6% compared to the similar period in 2023. 14-year-old Irwin High School student charged with murder of schoolmate granted bail. The 14-year-old Irwin High School student was charged in relation to last week's murder of 15-year-old Ranil Plummer, was granted bail when he appeared in the St. James Family Court on Thursday. He was granted bail in the sum of $100,000. Police reports that the Plummer and the teenager had an altercation whilst at the Granville St. James School on Thursday, April 17. About 3 p.m., Plummer was approached by the said student along with a group of boys who attacked him, the police said, during the squabble. A knife was reportedly brandished and was used to stab Plummer to the chest. Plummer was assisted to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. A date has not been ascertained when the teen is scheduled to reappear in court. King Charles orders government to cover legal fees for cartel's Privy Council appeal. King Charles III has officially ordered the Jamaican government to cover the legal expenses of dancehall Archie's Vibes cartel and its 3 co-accused, following the recent decision by the UK Privy Council to overturn their 2014 murder convictions. The formal directive, obtained from the attorney representing cartel, Isaac Buchanan, comes in the wake of the ruling to nullify the convictions of Vibes cartel, Adidja Palmer, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahiria Jones, and Andre St. John, who were serving sentences for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The order, dated April 10, 2024, and signed by a clerk of the Privy Council, read, His Majesty was pleased by, and with the advice of his Privy Council, to approve the report and to order that those charged with administering the government of Jamaica and all others whom it may concern are to ensure that it is punctually observed and obeyed. The Privy Council's advice in the order included 4 points. 1. The appeal should be allowed. 2. The appellant's convictions should be quashed on the ground of jury misconduct. 3. The case should be remitted to the Court of Appeal to decide whether to order retrial as soon as reasonably practicable. 4. The respondent should pay the appellant's cost. The amount of those costs to be assessed if not agreed. The question of the convictions in March prompted the case to be referred back to the local Court of Appeal. The Privy Council's advice in the order included 4 points. 1. The appeal should be allowed. 2. The appellant's conviction should be quashed on the ground of jury misconduct. 3. The case should be remitted to the Court of Appeal to decide whether to order retrial as soon as reasonably practicable. 4. The respondent should pay the appellant's cost. The amount of those costs to be assessed if not agreed. The question of the convictions in March prompted the case to be referred back to the local Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is slated to convene on June 10 to deliberate whether a retrial should be ordered or if the men are to be released. In April 2014, Cartel was sentenced to life in prison with the eligibility of parole after serving 35 years of his sentence. His co-accused were also handed life sentences, with Sean Storm and Jones being eligible for parole after serving 25 years and St. John being eligible after serving 15 years. Omar Cullimore and alleged contract killer have case to answer in wife's murder, court rules. Omar Cullimore was on trial for allegedly orchestrating the murder of his wife and the co-accused, Michael Crabos Adams, the man whom he allegedly contracted to carry out the hit. Both have a case to answer in the murder of businesswoman Simone Campbell Cullimore and the taxi operator Winston Walters. Justice St. Pusey in handing down the ruling on Thursday, however, indicated that he required more time with respect to the other two alleged accomplices, Dwayne Pink and Shaquille Edwards. The ruling follows no case submissions by the defense on Wednesday. The judge is expected to deliver his decision regarding the other two defendants on Monday, when the defense will commence its case in the Home Circuit Court. The men are facing 2 counts of murder and conspiracy to murder in connection to the killings of the 32-year-old businesswoman and her taxi driver, Walters, on January 2, 2018. The victims were killed when men drove up on motorcycles and sprayed them with bullets as they waited to be let inside Campbell Collimore's Forest Ridge apartment complex in Red Hills, St. Andrew. The court asserted that Collimore, a U.S. citizen, hired Adams to facilitate the murder of his wife and that Edwards and Pink allegedly played a role in surveilling the businesswoman's movement. The trial has heard that Collimore, a U.S. citizen, hired Adams to facilitate the murder of his wife and that Edwards and Pink allegedly played a role in surveilling the businesswoman's movements before her death. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.